Okay, so you know how sometimes you stumble upon a book and it just completely pulls you in?
Totally. Like you can't put it down.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened to me with A Mother's Last Wish.
Oh, yeah, I loved that one.
It's by Joe Bartlett, and it's been stuck in my head ever since I finished it.
I can see why.
This deep dive is actually inspired by a listener request.
Always a good sign.
They wanted us to really dig into the themes and characters, so that's exactly what we're going to do.
Sounds like a plan.
So the story centers around Louisa, a mother of two, who receives a life-altering diagnosis.
Okay, I'm intrigued already.
And it's about how she grapples with that diagnosis while trying to create a sense of normalcy for her family.
It's amazing how the author captures that initial shock. That instinct to protect your loved ones.
Right. It's like Louisa's first response isn't even about her own fear.
It's all about her children's future. It's like she goes into this hyper-organized mode.
Totally. Focusing on all the practical stuff, like wills and childcare.
Trying to control everything.
Yes. And there's this scene where she visits St. Martin's Church.
A place that holds meaning for her.
Yeah, it's always been a place of comfort for her through all of life's big moments.
I get that, like seeking solace in the familiar.
And it made me think about how we all do that in times of uncertainty.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
crave those anchors when everything feels like it's spinning out of control.
And speaking of control, Louisa's relationship with her twin sister Holly really brings that theme to life.
Oh, a twin dynamic. Always fascinating.
They have this incredibly close bond, but they deal with challenges in completely opposite ways.
So how do their personalities clash?
Louisa is all about planning and order.
A classic planner.
And Holly, she thrives on spontaneity, lives in the moment.
Total opposites.
And as you can imagine, this creates some tension as Louisa tries to manage her diagnosis.
Because she wants to orchestrate the perfect future for her children.
Exactly.
I wonder, is there really a right way to cope with something like that?
That's the question, isn't it?
How do we balance our own needs with the needs of those we love?
Especially when facing a situation that forces us to confront our own mortality.
Heavy stuff.
And then there's Tom, Louisa's husband.
What's his role in all of this?
He loves Louisa deeply, but he struggles to have those tough conversations.
About the future.
Yeah, he's almost in a state of denial.
Avoiding the hard stuff.
It's like they're speaking different languages.
And that communication breakdown adds another layer of complexity to their relationship.
It's heartbreaking, but it feels so real.
Like something we've all experienced in some way.
Exactly. And then we're introduced to this other character, Billy.
Oh, tell me about Billy.
She's another mother in the village, but she's everything Louisa fears for her children.
What do you mean?
Their parenting styles are complete opposites. And Billy represents all of Louisa's anxieties about who might step into her role.
It's like she embodies those what-if fears that we all have as parents.
Totally. And those anxieties reach a boiling point when Louisa lashes out at Holly.
Driven by fear and anger.
Exactly. And it leads her to make a pretty drastic decision.
I won't ask for spoilers, but I'm on the edge of my seat.
Let's just say it's a turning point in the story that forces her to face some hard truths.
About herself. About her relationship.
About everything. And it's in the aftermath of that decision that Louisa starts to find a bit of peace.
Where does she find that peace?
Through conversations with Kate.
Who's Kate?
She's a lay minister at St. Martin's Church.
Someone she can confide in.
Yeah, Kate offers a listening ear. And what's interesting is that she doesn't try to give simple answers or sugarcoat things.
Just genuine human connection.
Exactly. And that's what Louisa needs. Someone to help her process her emotions, to find her own path.
And that's a powerful thing, isn't it? To have that kind of support.
Totally. And as Louisa starts to come to terms with her situation, she begins creating these really special experiences for her children.
What kind of experiences?
There's a family trip to a wildlife park, a special graduation ceremony for the kids' nursery school, even a birthday celebration that's both heartwarming and bittersweet.
Those are the moments that stay with you.
And it shows how Louisa is shifting from trying to control the future to embracing the present.
Focusing on what truly matters, making memories.
It's a beautiful reminder that even in the face of adversity, there's still so much beauty and love to be found.
In the simple act of being present.
And speaking of simple moments, there's this scene where Louisa tries to make pancakes for her kids.
Pancakes.
Yeah. And it turns into a complete disaster.
Oh, I bet.
But it speaks volumes about her emotional state and how her illness is affecting her ability to do even the most basic things.
It's those everyday moments that can really hit you hard.
Absolutely. But in those vulnerable moments, her family rallies around her.
Reminding her that she's loved and supported.
Exactly. And as her physical health declines, Louisa makes the difficult decision to move to St. Joseph's Hospice.
It's a courageous choice, prioritizing comfort and quality of life.
And it highlights the importance of those tough conversations about end-of-life care.
Conversations that are so important but often difficult to have.
Absolutely. And even as she prepares to say goodbye, Louisa finds a way to make sure her presence will be felt.
How does she do that?
She starts writing letters to her husband and children.
Filled with all her love and wisdom.
Exactly. It's heartbreaking, but it's also incredibly beautiful.
Those letters will be such a treasure for her family.
And then there's this incredibly powerful scene where Louisa and Tom decide to renew their vows.
Wow. What a beautiful way to reaffirm their love.
And they combine it with a Christmas and birthday celebration.
Bringing everyone together.
It's a poignant moment that really encapsulates the themes of love, family, and cherishing the time we have.
It's a reminder that even in the face of loss, there's still room for celebration, for joy, for creating memories that will last a lifetime.
And while all this is happening, Louisa's twin sister Holly is grappling with her own complex emotions.
She's fiercely protective of her sister, but she's also dealing with her own grief.
And she's trying to figure out how to honor Louisa's memory in a way that feels authentic to her.
It's fascinating to see how Holly navigates her own journey.
She's not trying to be Louisa or live her life according to her sister's plan.
She's finding her own path, embracing her individuality.
And that's one of the things I found so compelling about this book.
What's that?
It explores such a range of emotions and experiences in a way that feels both deeply personal and universally relatable. It's a story that stays with you long after you turn the final page.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with so much to ponder. How do we find meaning and purpose in the face of life's challenges? How do we create lasting memories with those we love? And how do we navigate those difficult conversations about love, loss, and the legacy we want to leave behind?
Questions that resonate with all of us, right?
For sure. And A Mother's Last Wish offers a really thought-provoking exploration of those themes without giving us easy answers.
It's a book that invites us to engage with our own experiences and really think about what matters most.
A reminder that even in the face of our own mortality, we have the power to choose how we live, how we love, and how we make our mark on the world.
And sometimes, the most meaningful legacies aren't built on grand gestures, but on those small, everyday moments of connection, kindness, and love.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? That even in the face of darkness, there's always a flicker of light to be found. It really is, like these little sparks of hope.
Yeah, and one of those sparks in A Mother's Last Wish comes from Louisa's writing.
It's more than just a job for her.
Oh, definitely. It's like her lifeline, her way of processing everything.
And connecting with others.
Exactly. And ultimately, it's about leaving a piece of herself behind.
I'm curious how the author shows that evolution in her writing.
Well, at first, she's using it for practical stuff, like documenting things for her family's future.
Makes sense. Trying to tie up loose ends.
But then it becomes something much deeper.
Like,
There's this scene where she finds an online forum for people with terminal diagnoses.
wow, that must have been powerful.
It becomes this safe space for her to be totally honest, to connect with people who understand.
It's a good reminder that even with all the social media out there, sometimes the written word is still the most powerful.
Totally. It allows for a different kind of vulnerability.
And it's not just about receiving support, right?
Right. She starts offering advice too, encouraging others on the forum.
Drawing on her own experience.
Yeah, and it made me think about how we all search for meaning, even when things are tough.
And by helping others, she finds a way to make her own struggles matter.
And then, of course, there are the letters she writes to Tom and the kids.
Those must be gut-wrenching to read.
They are, filled with so much love. But it's hard to think about her writing them, knowing she won't be there to see them grow up.
Those letters are going to be so precious to them.
It really makes you consider your own legacy, what we leave behind. Not just things, but values and lessons.
And sometimes those are the most important things, the things you can't touch, but that stay with you forever.
Okay, but Holly's journey after Louisa's death just blew me away.
I know, right?
Creating Lou's Lodge. Talk about turning grief into something positive.
It's not just about honoring her sister.
No, it's about helping other families going through the same thing.
It shows how resilient we can be. How even in the face of loss, we can find a way to make a difference.
And it's so interesting to see how Holly's own personality shapes the project.
She's different from Louisa, right?
So different. Louisa was all about planning and organization. Holly's more spontaneous, intuitive. And that leads to some unexpected turns.
It's a good reminder that there's no right or wrong way to grieve or to honor someone's memory.
Totally. We each have to find our own way. And in doing so, Holly creates something truly unique.
Something that honors Louisa, but is also very much her own.
It's a testament to the bond between them.
And to the power of creativity and love.
One thing that really struck me about the book is how it handles those heavy themes of death and grief.
But there's still lightness.
There is. It doesn't shy away from the hard stuff, but it also celebrates life.
It's a tricky balance to strike.
The author does an amazing job with it, though. It's a story that's both heartbreaking and uplifting.
I think that's what makes it so powerful.
I found the book's depiction of the medical and emotional side of things really impactful.
It felt honest.
It did. Raw, but not overly sentimental.
We see the toll it takes on everyone, not just Louisa.
Tom's denial, Holly's struggle to balance her own needs, even the kids trying to understand what's happening.
And yet, amidst all that pain, you still see these moments of connection and strength.
The nurse's compassion, friends offering support, the family coming together.
It's a good reminder that we're not meant to go through hard times alone.
And the book touches on faith, too.
Not in a preachy way, though, right?
Yeah, not at all. It's more about Louisa finding comfort in her own way.
Like how she finds peace at St. Martin's Church.
Right. Not necessarily for religious reasons, but because it represents something familiar and constant in a world that feels chaotic.
Those conversations with Kate, the lay minister, are so insightful.
Kate just listens, offers guidance without judgment. It's exactly what Louisa needs.
It shows how powerful those kinds of connections can be.
It's through those conversations that Louisa starts thinking about what she wants to leave behind for her children.
Not just material things, but values and memories.
It's about making sure her love will be felt even when she's gone.
It's a powerful message.
It is. And it made me realize that sometimes the most important legacies are the ones we build through simple acts of kindness, compassion, and love.
It's like our actions create ripples that extend far beyond ourselves.
And a mother's last wish is a beautiful reminder of that. It's like the book shows us there are so many ways to find peace.
Yeah, and for Louisa, it's writing.
It helps her make sense of it all.
And connect with others in a really deep way.
But it goes beyond that, right?
Yeah, totally. She wants to leave something behind for her family. Something real.
Those letters she writes to Tom and the kids.
More than just words on a page.
They're proof that love doesn't just disappear.
It echoes on. Touches people's lives even after we're gone.
It's like she's giving them a guide,
Filled with all the things she wants them to know.
advice, and encouragement.
Little bits of wisdom to help them along the way.
And it's not all serious stuff either.
There's humor in there too, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like even when facing death, she remembers to find joy in the little things.
It makes you think about what you want to leave behind.
What really matters?
It's not about fancy cars or big houses.
It's about the things that make up a life.
The memories we create.
The values we hold dear.
The love we share.
And honestly, sometimes those are built through the smallest moments.
The acts of kindness.
Shared laughter.
Those quiet times when you feel truly connected to someone.
It all adds up.
Okay, but Holly's journey after Louisa's death,
So powerful.
creating Lou's Lodge. It's incredible,
She could have let grief consume her.
but she didn't.
She used it to fuel something amazing, something that would help others.
It shows you that even in loss, we have choices.
We can choose how we respond,
How we heal.
how we move forward.
And sometimes those paths lead us to places we never expected.
And in the process, we honor the people we've lost.
And we create hope for others. A Mother's Last Wish is a story that sticks with you.
It really does.
It reminds you to cherish the time we have.
Find joy in the little things.
Embrace life, even with all its ups and downs.
It encourages us to think about what's important.
Our values.
A relationship.
The mark we want to leave on the world.
And even when things are dark, there's always hope.
A reason to keep going.
A love that lasts beyond anything else.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into A Mother's Last Wish.
It's a book that touched us deeply.
We'd love to hear what you thought of it.
What parts resonated with you?
What questions did it spark?
Leave a comment below and tell us your thoughts.
And don't forget to like and subscribe for more book discussions.
Until next time, keep reading, keep exploring.
And keep those conversations going.